It's your real fake news update, not brought to you by Pfizer. It looks like Trump's ceasefire narrative is starting to crumble. But how are the mainstream media outlets handling this disaster? Because, again, as you guys know, the mainstream has to keep a constant back and forth, red versus blue theater piece going at all times. So how are they responding? Well, first, let's start with Trump's tweet out. This was the big one. This is the big old congratulations to everyone. It's been fully agreed between Israel and Iran. There'll be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now. This was last night, when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their completed their progress, final missions for 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended. Officially, Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24th hour, an official end. I like how he gets to dictate all the rules of this agreement. And spoiler alert, guys, we've never seen a ceasefire. We're just hearing about it. We'll take his word for it, I suppose, because there's no actual contract signed. There's no signatures, but no worries. We'll take your word for it. Moving on this tweet, during the ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful, respectful, on the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will. I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, courage, and intelligence to end what should be called. So he's packaging it now as the 12-day war, which should have ended today on the 12th day, but it hasn't, as you guys probably know. This is a war that could have gone for years. Well, it still can, Trump. It still can. And destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't. It never will. God bless Israel. God bless Iran. God bless the Middle East. God bless the United States of America. And God bless the world. Donald J. Trump. Now, we know that that isn't what actually happened. And Trump had to find out in the early morning when he was awoken to the surprise that Israel broke the ceasefire. Of course they did. Of course they did. Here's Trump, his response to it this morning.
Reports coming from the region suggest that the sides accuse each other for violating the ceasefire. So
I think they both violated it. I don't think I'm not sure they did it intentionally. They couldn't rein people back. I don't like the fact that Israel went out this morning at all, and I'm going to see if I can stop it. So as soon as I get away from you, I'm going to see if I can stop it, okay?
Have you spoken to him this morning? How confident are you that Iran is going to take a
I think it's been completely demolished. I think the reason we're here is because those pilots, those B-2 pilots, did an unbelievable job. And, you know, the fake news, like CNN in particular, they're trying to say, well, I agree that it was destroyed, but maybe not that destroyed. You know what they're doing? They're really hurting great pilots that put their lives in the line. CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all.
Mic's off. Sorry. Okay. He's calling them both fake news. That's his thing. He made up. Now, remember, guys, he made up the term fake news. He came up with that back in 2015. It's a great name for the news stations, fake news. But he's obsessed with the part of the theater in which CNN, MSNBC, AOC, Pelosi, all these talking heads on, as he calls MSDNC, which I think is actually pretty hilarious. He's caught up on that little part where they have to be angry about how he went about it and if he did it correctly. But make no mistake, the mainstream media, DNC, RNC, all of them, Fox News, it doesn't matter, MSNBC or MSDNC, as Trump says, they all want war. They all want war. They all want war. How many times do we have to tell you? They all want war. So he's caught up on the part of CNN saying he's doing it in not in the right way he should be doing. But he should be doing it, just not this exact way. Okay. Continue. He's going to get pissed here. If you guys haven't seen this, he's going to get really pissed.
And frankly, the networks aren't much better. It's all fake news, but they should not have done that. Those pilots hit their targets. Those targets were obliterated, and the pilots should be given credit. They're not after the pilots, they're after me. They want to try and demean.
You don't believe that Iran can rebuild its nuclear program?
Iran will never rebuild its nuclear. From there, absolutely not. That place is under rock. That place is demolished. The B-2 pilots did their job. They did it better than anybody could even imagine. They hit late in the evening. It was dark with no moon, and they hit that target with every one of those things, and that place is gone. But when I see CNN all night long, they're trying to say, well, maybe it wasn't really as demolished as we thought. It was demolished. You take a look at the pinpricks, and you see that place is gone. And I will say, I think CNN ought to apologize to the pilots of the B-2s. I think that MSDNC ought to apologize. I think these guys really, these networks and these cable networks are real losers.
Okay, let's give you an example, because you guys have to see what he's referring to. The Pelosi's, the AOCs, they parade around all over the MSNBC, MSDNC, CNN, and they do stuff like this. And Fox even covers it so they can make fun of it. And again, make you guys think that you're getting different viewpoints when you flip back and forth from Fox to CNN. Here's AOC suggesting that we should be impeaching Trump right now. And I'll talk to you guys about that later, why that is a huge waste of time. But again, this is just the theater of we have to be angry about this.
The war. And I think that the President of the United States admitting that he unilaterally brought the United States into a war without congressional approval is a very grave public admission. It is illegal. It is unconstitutional. And so for me, while the president is posting something about a ceasefire, I think what he also posted was an official acknowledgement that this was war. And I think that is something that should be taken into very serious consideration.
Okay, again, that's just posturizing. It's not real. Trump is also kind of pretending, or at least he's distracting his anger to that area just so he can keep his Fox News audience intact. But again, remember, make no mistake, they're all for the same thing. And there's no impeachment that's going to work. I know some of our colleagues and friends are talking about it right now. They're talking about impeachment. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And I'll show you why it's not going to work. So here's Pelosi saying back when Trump did the attack, did the 3 hits on the nuclear facilities in Iran, she says tonight the president ignored the Constitution by unilaterally engaging our military without congressional authority. I join my colleagues in demanding answers to this administration on this operation, which endangers American lives and risks further escalation and dangerous destabilization in the region. Now, none of this is going to go to the extent of an impeachment. There's no way. And I'll show you why, because Obama has done this plenty of times before. Here is pointing this out, Nancy Pelosi, when Obama bombed Libya without seeking congressional approval. These folks are just all 100% full of shit all the time. That's correct. And there's Pelosi back in 2011. I commend Obama for his leadership. Gaddafi's horrific brutality against his own people will not be tolerated and must stop. There you go. No congressional approval there. So just to keep in mind, that's the fake news Trump is talking about, which is lambasting him for doing the thing wrong. But again, they all want the thing to happen. Let's hear the rest of what Trump had to say, because this is the most interesting part.
You really are. You're real ugly. You're gutless losers. I say that to CNN because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch that garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless group of people. And the people that run it, nobody even knows it's been sold so many times. But the people that run it ought to be ashamed. MSDNC, a guy named Brian Roberts, he heads it. He's a disgrace. He's a weak, pathetic disgrace.
Israel says that Iran violated the peace agreement and the ceasefire agreement. Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Wow. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Wow. There we go. There we go. He's lost it. He's at the end. He's at the end of his rope. And we're going to get to more of that, how we got there, a little later in the show when we bring in Jay Scott. But let's just spend just a little bit more on the fake news that he refers to. Again, Trump gets the credit of coming up with that name, fake news. And it's important to see how they go about this. So make no mistake, again, CNN, 100% for bombing the crap out of Iran and the regime change war that is inevitably still being pushed right now. Just to be absolutely clear, that's still being pushed right now. Here's Van Jones telling us why progressives have to get on board with this.
Some time in some room. I was also in the Holy Land very recently. I think progressives underestimate how dangerous Iran is. Iran is not a normal country. Normal countries don't blind women because they showed some hair. They don't empower little gangs and proxies to surround a country and fire rockets and rape people. So Iran, the two things are clear. The what, they cannot have a bomb, and the why, because they say death to America, death to Israel, and death to all the Jews. One of those should offend you if you're progressives. At least one should offend you. And so the question, though, is the who and the how. Is Israel going to take out this nuclear capacity by dropping people there who blow it up? Or is America going to take it out by dropping a bomb that blows it up? But the what and the why are clear, and I think progressives should get on board with that. We cannot have a nuclear-armed Iran. I was in the region. You were in the region. This is a very dangerous power that cannot get a nuclear weapon.
There you go. It's not just Van Jones. Look at Adam Schiff. He's just right in line. Right in line.
Has a right to defend itself, and I support what Israel is doing to defend itself. I think they found this the opportune moment to go after a nuclear program that was coming closer and closer to fruition. So I support those actions, and I support the administration's actions in helping Israel defend itself.
There you go. There you go. All in line, all lock and sync. And now there's one more that's very important, because it's not just them doing the giving us the verbiage needed to get the consent. This is all about manufacturing consent on all sides, while making you think that you're getting alternate viewpoints when you flip your channels. CNN goes way further than just bring on a talking head and support the regime change, but just be cautious about the way Trump's doing it, but we're going to still do it. They go even further. They send Anderson Cooper out to Tel Aviv in order to stage the most disgusting example of garnering unique sympathy for Israelis, while completely ignoring for these last 20-something months the plight of the Palestinians, and completely on purpose. And it is disgusting. We're going to show you a little of what they staged in Tel Aviv. Again, Trump should be complimenting this, but he won't. He won't. He'll keep you thinking that their problem is that they don't like the way he's going about things. They all want the same result. They all want the same result. You got to have sympathy for the people in Tel Aviv while ignoring Palestine. That's something they can all get on board with. By the way, while criminalizing free speech, while we speak up for the Palestinian people, it's illegal to do that. It's criminal to do that. You're going to get punished, deported, canceled, expelled, arrested, bullied. Did I leave any out? You're going to do that if you have a problem with this. So here you go. Staged event by Anderson Cooper and his gang on the ground in Tel Aviv. Coming from on a live feed from a 5-star hotel. Watch how they pull this off.
That obviously Hamas and Hezbollah have been severely degraded. I should just say that we're now hearing an alert,
Right.
which is an indication that we.
Right. So these are the alerts that go out on all of our phones when you're in Israel. It's a 10-minute warning of incoming missiles or something incoming from Iran. So now the location we're in has a verbal alarm telling people to go down into bomb shelters. So we have about a 10-minute window to get down into a bomb shelter, and we'll continue to try to broadcast from that bomb shelter, and even if we can on the way down. You guys want to?
Should we go down,
Yeah.
or you want to finish this?
Well, we should probably go down.
We should probably go down.
Let's just make sure. Do we have? Are we able to do that? All right. I think we're going to head down to the shelters. Chuck, do we have capabilities as we go down?
Just checking microphones. Be ready in a second. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, here they go.
Let's see if we can switch over.
This is where
So
they're
is
going
this
to take the audience.
Actually working.
This is how.
Okay.
This is the struggle of the Israelis right now. Here we go. Watch this.
Okay, I think
It's a life and death situation here. Make sure the mic works. If your mic doesn't work, it could be very costly. Here we go. Oh no, we got to walk through the nice room they provided us here.
This is from the hotel. They're warning all the hotel guests to go down. This is the first time today that we have had an alarm like this. It's obviously something that many here in Tel Aviv have gotten used to over the last 10 or 11 days since this began.
They've gotten used to it since this whole tragedy began for them. Oh my God, it's hard to get used to, but they have to be inconvenienced in their nice homes. Not to mention, I'll put this out there. Any of them traveling right now are kind of forced to extend their vacations at their 5-star resorts right now by longer than they thought they'd have to, which is also very inconvenient and very troubling on the heart and the soul and the mind. So our hearts go out to those as well who aren't coming back to Tel Aviv, extending their vacations right now. Our hearts go out to all of you as well. Okay, let's get back to the mission. Here we go. Here we go.
There was one alarm shortly after, or several hours after the first strike, the strikes on Iran by the United States. This is the first one we've had.
Oh, hello.
This morning.
How are you doing?
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey, fellow struggler trying to survive. That one was funny, guys. That one was funny. Hey there. We're all in this together. Here we go. I hope you make it. If this is the last time I see you, it's like when Titanic, when Leo and what's her name? It's Rose and Jack running through, and they're seeing the kids, and you're like, they're not going to see them again. They might never see them again because the ship's sinking. That was Anderson Cooper's little attempt at, hey there. If we don't make it out, good luck to you.
And
oh my God, this is
here with Jeremy Diamond. So in terms of this is the first one today, isn't it?
It's the first one, not today, because 7 was the last one. I think we're all a little bit upside down. Oh, we're at 3 a.m. Yes, so it is the first.
And just for reference, that's Charissa Ward, the greatest actress of all time. She should have racked up at least 3 Academy Awards by now by all her great work in Syria. She did, pretending to smell chemicals, which were poisonous. She's still alive, by the way, but she smelled that poisonous chemicals herself right on that little backpack to tell us that Assad was murdering his own people with chemical warfare. Good thing she put her nose right to the fire and smelt it for us. She also did went back to Syria and staged a whole thing with somebody in a prison where she talked them through their story of how horrible it was to be trapped there. And thank God CNN showed up to release them because they have that type of ability to do that. Anyways, just for reference, that's who's next to Anderson Cooper right now, telling us exactly what's happening here.
One of the day. But what we've noticed, I think, is fewer barrages, but quite high intensity, particularly this morning. I mean, Jeremy, you were there on the scene. The damage was
Yeah, I mean, there's also been reports that the Iranians have been using different types of ballistic missiles, some reports of cluster munition use as well, and we've seen the kind of impact that can have on the scene. Today I was at a site in the north of Tel Aviv, in Ramat Aviv, where you saw a residential block that was almost, completely obliterated by the power of that blast.
You guys got to press down in the basement, please.
Yeah. You don't forget to press down.
The damage is enormous. And more of these ballistic missiles that are indeed getting through those air defense systems. But, quite incredibly, we haven't seen any fatalities in, I believe, a week now, right? The last Monday morning was the last time we saw a fatality. That's, of course, a credit to the aerial defense systems, but more importantly, perhaps, to the early warnings that are getting.
It's a credit to the system, the defense system, and the early warnings. We've seen Iran time and time again actually target military institutions, actually target these non-civilian areas, and they actually do give warnings. So they do the thing that Israel claims to have been doing this whole time. Israel's the greatest army in the world, the greatest, the most compassionate, emotionally sensitive army in the world, according to RFK Jr. That they care about the people they're murdering. No, this is a credit to Iran doing things the way everyone should do when they are in these situations. Israel's the only one that doesn't do that. So, but you want to credit Israel for their ability to defend and get people out of their hotels. Okay.
Us into bomb shelters and getting millions of other Israelis.
Yeah, and I'm going to take over here from the White House. Kristen Holmes, with senior White House correspondent, as they go into that shelter. We are losing service there, but we expect to get them back at any moment, hoping that they are safe as this is continuing. Now I think we have our signal back. Okay, great.
It is a luxury to have a 10-minute warning. Obviously, in a situation like this, in many cases, obviously, rockets from Gaza, generally there isn't that like a 10-minute window.
That was your reference, Anderson Cooper? This is a luxury to have this warning and the ability to be safe. We're totally safe. We're not even in any arm's way at all. But your reference to what's not safe is when Palestinians send rockets. You couldn't find a better comparison of what's not safe. I don't know. I could think of 1,000 off the top of my head. How about this one? For reference, this is Palestinians going to get aid and being bait and switched on. As soon as they get the aid, they're fired upon, shot in their heads, in their backs, in their chests, in their limbs. At least 14 died in this. And it was pretty funny from IDF's point of view. They thought it was hilarious that they tricked them like that. So we want to talk about a comparison, Anderson Cooper, about what feels safe and the luxury hotel and the luxury you're getting compared to what? I'm sure you meant to reference this. It just slipped your mind because of all the moving around and the no sleep. I'm sure you're disoriented. You don't know what time of day it is. It must have slipped your mind that this would have been a more accurate reference.
الله أكبر مش حركي لي بس ولا نرجع حق ما يرجع كل اللي بيصير فينا عشان الطحين يا الله
Yeah. Why don't you take your crew out there? You and Carissa, Academy Award winner Ward. Why don't you guys take your crew out there and show us what non-luxury actually looks like in a war situation? I'm sorry, a genocide situation, because they're not firing back. Iran is, and you guys, you think your job as journalists is to show us how horrible of a condition it is for the Tel Aviv community and how hard it is for them in their nice houses not being targeted, and certainly if you were to send them aid, not being shot in the head while they go pick up their food. So there you go, another example of CNN misreporting. This is what real fake news looks like, and this is another thing they will never tell you. The 60,000 was clearly, this is the death toll in Gaza. It was clearly an underestimate. Clearly. Once they put the actual counts together, and this is according to a database in Israeli military's own data, you combine this low number of under 60,000, and they reveal that almost 400,000, at least minimally 377,000, have disappeared from the Gaza population of 2.227 million from before October 7th. So none of them are reporting on that. That's actual journalism. That's actual news. They don't want to tell you that. So just throwing that out there too. I hate that we have to keep doing their goddamn job every time for them. We have to keep doing their job. We're not getting the paychecks from Pfizer and all that, but it's irritating, but we're doing it for you guys so you guys can actually get some real news. Okay, that's enough. This has been Real Fake News Update, not brought to you by Pfizer.